My name is Dolores Zabrowski. I'm from Sag Harbor, New York. Was born in Sag Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been here most of my life.
Okay.
Well, my father was in the Navy, and he always wanted to own a home. So one time when he was here, like in the 20s, they saw the farm was for sale. And at that time it was 100 acres for $6,000. So they bought it. And we used to come here every summer and have vacations here. And then when my father retired, then we moved here permanently. Service.
Was he in the Navy?
Navy. He was a career Navy man. Yeah. Well, so many people live there that it would take a long time, because when we were not there, during the Depression, we let our family live there, our relatives. I think it's 820 Brick Hill Road. I bought it in 1920, in the 20s. During the Depression, my father was still in the Navy. But my people in Sag Harbor, my relatives, my mother's sisters, and she had 2 sisters and a brother, and they were all out of work. There was no money, so they all moved to the farm. And one of them lived downstairs, and one of them lived upstairs, and one of them lived in the front of the house upstairs. There was enough room. It's such a big house, there was enough room for everybody. And then they raised turkeys, chickens, and only one person in the family, I think, had a job as a mechanic, fixing cars, and everybody else did farming, planted potatoes, vegetables, and they got through the Depression with that. Well, in the front of the house, there used to be a beautiful pond, and we used to have an old rowboat and go out in it. But the mosquito people came, and they dredged the pond, and so they made it really into a swamp. But I think it could be put back as a pond if you had enough money and time and knowledge. All I know is my brother collected turtles. And people down in Glencoe would bring them up, the kids would collect them, and they'd bring them up box turtles. And he said, I'm going to bring them out to the farm because that'll improve the genes out there. So, like in back of my farm, in the Marble Hill Preserve, there's a big pond called Marble Hill Pond, and it's got hundreds of turtles there. And in the front swarm, we have a big snapping turtle. And every year, for 3 years, it comes up and lays eggs on the front lawn in the same spot. And then when those little turtles are born, they head right down to the swamp. They don't go in the backyard they seem to know to go to the water. Yeah. I'm going to let you know when if they haven't hatched yet. That would be interesting for you to see. We lived there all during the wartime. My 2 brothers went to war. My father was in the Navy, and I was in the Army. So my mother was there alone with her sister and her son during the wartime. Well, I bought this little house down in Noyak because I thought during the winter my mother they'd get snowed in up at the farm. But what happened, my mother went down one winter, and at the end of the winter she said, your house is nice, but it's very boring. And when I look out the window, I want to see a deer. I don't want to see a car. So they never went back again. They stayed up on the farm.